of Trustees for the Village of Woodridge on this Thursday, September 4th, 2025. We call the meeting to order at 7:06 p.m. and ask our clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Martinez,
Present.
Trustee Kagan, Trustee Annalise,
Present.
Trustee Nicobar,
Present.
Trustee Durkin,
Present.
Trustee Page,
Present.
Mayor Cunningham.
Present.
Quorum established.
Thank you very much, and we thank everyone for being here this evening. You please join us in a moment of silence, and as we prepare for the Pledge of Allegiance. And the Pledge of Allegiance this evening, I'm going to ask that our neighbors that are here with us this evening, if you would please, after a moment of silence, lead us in the pledge. We'd appreciate that, along with our members of the Human Relations Advisory Committee. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If I could please start with just mentioning that in our agenda item, and some may have received notice via social media, that the item regarding e-bikes and e-scooters has been moved to our September 18th meeting. We do apologize if you're just finding out about that tonight. However, there was need to move it. We will still take public comment, though. When we're at that portion of the meeting, I will go ahead and ask anyone who wishes to make a public comment to enter it into the record. You can still do that this evening as well, okay? So under special awards and presentations this evening, we do have a wonderful committee here at the Village called the Human Relations Advisory Committee. And they are dedicated residents, and I'm hoping that one of them will be willing to speak tonight, but I'd like to introduce the members that are here this evening. So we have Joe Bennett. Joe, if you'd stand up, Joe. And then I see Debbie Collins was here. Debbie. Deepak Ghosh. Yes. Thank you. And Shatender Singh. If someone is able maybe to share a few words, if you'd like to come up and tell us a little bit about the Human Relations Advisory Committee, we'd appreciate that. I know not prepared, but if not, it's okay. I mean, I can take it from here. Okay, thank you very much. Deepak, thank you.
Good evening. We are members of HRAC, or Human Relations Advisory Committee, which is probably in its 6th year. The purpose is, it was the vision of Mayor Cunningham that we should form an advisory committee and they can bring different human relations aspects to the village. And we are very pleased that the committee has taken many challenges, prepared a lot of proclamations. And one of the items, the committee is very proud to mention that 3 years ago, we started a festival of lights called Diwali, and some of you might have attended. If you didn't attend, please do so. It's scheduled again this year for October 26th, Sunday, in a much bigger and better place in Bobak Signature Place. So please do mark your calendar. Please do come. And that's one of the items. There are other items coming in about a week or so, the Mexican heritage, and there would be a lot of activities and music in the village in the library hall. So please do come. But all in all, thanks Mayor and thanks the committee for supporting the HRAC, and we'll continue to do to the best of our abilities.
Well, thank you,
Thank
Deepak. Thank you
Thank you.
very much for just standing up and
Thank you.
speaking on something that I know you're very passionate about, along with all of your other committee members. So it is my honor to ask for a motion to approve the recommendations for the reappointments to the Human Relations Advisory Committee. If I could please have a motion. So moved. Thank you, Trustee Anteles. A second. Thank you, Trustee Durkin. Thank you very much. And going to ask the clerk to please call the roll, please.
Trustee Martinez,
Aye.
Trustee Kagan, Trustee Anneles,
Aye.
Trustee Nekovar. Aye. Trustee Durkin,
Aye.
Trustee Page.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Well, congratulations. Not that we had any concern over it. You do remarkable good works in our community and far-reaching beyond Woodridge. Thank you very much for the humanitarian good works in our village and really the care of our neighbors and honestly helping us recognize everyone that is here, all of our neighbors, equally, fairly, and really just respectfully. So thank you all very much, and it's our honor to have you here this evening and to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Appreciate all your hard work. I would like to note our Assistant Village Administrator, Andy Trucco, is the liaison to the Human Relations Advisory Committee. And Andy, thank you for all your outstanding leadership and good works with the group, and really means a lot to us. So thank you very much. We do have proclamations before us this evening, and some of which go right to the heart of the Human Relations Advisory Committee. So there's a couple that I'd like to present in a moment, but I'm going to ask one of our trustees has the Constitution Week proclamation. Sure.
Whereas our founding fathers, in order to secure the blessings of liberty for themselves and their prosperity, did ordain and establish a Constitution of the United States of America. And whereas it is of the greatest importance that all citizens fully understand the provisions and principles contained in the Constitution in order to effectively support, preserve, and defend it against all enemies. As the 238th anniversary of the signing of the Constitution provides a historic opportunity for all Americans to remember the achievements, the rights, privileges, and responsibilities afforded to us. As the independence guaranteed to American citizens, whether by birth or naturalization, should be celebrated by appropriate ceremonies and activities during Constitution Week, as designated by proclamation of the President of the United States in accordance with Public Law 915. Now therefore, Gina Cunningham, Mayor of the Village of Woodridge, DuPage, Will, and Cook County, Illinois, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through 23rd, 2005 as Constitution Week in the Village of Woodridge, and urge all citizens to reaffirm the ideals of the Constitution by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties, remembering that lost rights may never be reclaimed.
Thank you very much, Trustee Page. This is one proclamation that I would like to give to the HRAC, but we do have another one, and that would be Trustee Kagan.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas we celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month and the rich history, culture, and contributions and importance of Hispanics and Latinos to our country and our community, and the American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central America, and South America, and whereas the Hispanic Heritage Observance began in 1968 with Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson, President Ronald Reagan in 1988 expanded the observance to cover the entire month on September 15th and ending on October 15th. Hispanic Heritage Month was enacted into law on August 17th, 1988, and approval of Public Law 100-402, and whereas the date, September 15th, is significant because it is the anniversary of the independence of 5 Latin American countries, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. In addition, Mexico and Chile celebrate their independence on September 16th and September 18th, respectively. Also, Columbus Day, or Dia de la Raza, which is October 12th, falls within that 30-day period. And the 2025 national theme for the observance is Collective Heritage, Honoring the Past and Inspiring the Future. And today, Hispanics form the largest ethnic or racial minority group in the United States, with over 62.6 million in population. And as of 2025, Hispanics constitute 24% of the nation's total population. Hispanics are advancing our economy, improving our communities, and bettering our country. And during National Hispanic Heritage Month, we honor and celebrate the rich and vibrant traditions of Hispanic and Latino faith, family, hard work, and patriotism. We are grateful for the innumerable contributions they make to our society, in which are vital to our community. Now, therefore, I, Gina Cunningham, Mayor of the Village of Woodridge, DuPage, Will, and Cook Counties, Illinois, in recognition of Hispanic Americans past, present in our community, do hereby proclaim September 15th through October 15th, 2025 as National Hispanic American Heritage Month, and encourage all residents to celebrate the diverse heritage and culture and continue the efforts to create a world which is just more peaceful and prosperous for all.
Thank you very much, Trustee Kagan. And I would invite our HRAC members to come up and like to share our proclamations with you. One is in English, one is in Spanish. So, and then one is the original. I'd like to share that with everyone. We'll get your picture if you turn around here with me. Okay, we now go to the section of the meeting where we ask for comments from the public. And I'd like to just state again and restate actually that staff is recommending that the public hearing related to the proposed Panattoni office warehouse development and related annexation petitions on Davie Road be continued to the September 18th meeting. So I would therefore please ask for a motion to continue this item and its public hearing to our September 18th meeting. Going to ask for a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Page, and a second.
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Martinez. Thank you very much. Going to ask our clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Kagan.
Aye.
Trustee Annalise. Trustee Nekovar.
Aye.
Trustee Page.
Aye.
Trustee Durkin.
Aye.
Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. We do have one other item of recognition, and that is we do have and one of our new colleagues here, and civil engineer and Chris Bethel, Director Bethel.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. I want to introduce you to Dan Schiller, our newest civil engineer. Started with us earlier in June. And it's something that, kind of truth be told, civil engineers, they're kind of like unicorns. They don't exist these days. There are just simply not enough of them out there as it relates to both private and public sector opportunities and people searching to find people with the kind of experience and knowledge that Dan brought to us. So Dan, luckily, he checked all of those boxes, both education and experience. He has his professional engineer's license and graduated with a civil engineering degree from the University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. And really, and more importantly, kind of for the projects we do, he came to us with a lot of experience. For 3 years, he was with a private civil engineering firm. And then for the last 12 years, he's actually been a staff civil engineer at the city of Berwyn, doing a lot of the same projects that we do here. He started, again, luckily, right as construction season was kicking off. So just in his short time here, he's been involved in helping to administer our various road construction projects. He's advanced the aerator project on Zurich Pond. He's getting in the process of putting those contract documents together that are going to come before you shortly. He's developed a preliminary plan for the brick and concrete work here in Town Center that's going to be shared shortly with the board. On tonight's agenda, he did the final review with the engineering design for V3 for the Glen Court stormwater project, and he's in the process of finishing up the preparation on the contract with Seabell for our next recommended water main project. So he really has hit the ground running, done a tremendous amount of work in a very short period of time. I'm going to let Dan introduce. He's got his support team with him in the back row as well.
So I do want to thank my family here for all their support and for being here tonight. We got my wife Elise, my parents Bob and Kim, and then my brother Chris. Without their support, I wouldn't be where I am. And thank you all for having me here to meet you guys too.
Well, we thank you and congratulations to you. It's our honor. I'm sorry I skipped over you. I was going right to the public comment. But it is an honor to have you here. And I know you've been busy. I've heard how busy. So it is really great to have you here and to meet you. Please take a moment and come up and shake everyone's hands. We welcome you sincerely. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Dan. Welcome. And welcome.
Welcome.
Very nice to meet you. And thank you to his family for being here tonight as well. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're now going to pause to acknowledge any written public comments that have been received prior to our meeting that do not relate to tonight's agenda and enter those into the public record. Administrator Stonich?
Thank you, Mayor. We have several that have come in, and each board member has received advance copies, and these will be entered into the record. First is Connie Agasawa, Bev Maraxi, Janet Rathjib, Omer Alam, Marilyn Smiley, Carol Davidson, Bharat Mather, Brett Schwab, Debbie Hall, Ted Starsick, James Strafasi, Barbara Graff, Michael Goodrich, Ken Hennig, Deborah Capraro, Adam Garrett, Mark Duch, Edward Grant, Michael Capraro, Nancy Coleman, Maureen Levine, Mary Schellenberg, Karen Piccoli, John McKenna, Robert Repa, Laura DeJang, Eileen McGivney, Tammy Ziebel, Norma King, Terry Palanik, John Markey, Kathy Ebby, Lenore Teratuti, Ellie Rivera, Lori T., Janice Kaczynski, Barbara Kimball, Liz Zeleny, Laura Walton, Pat Kempton, Patrick Millian, and Wee O'Connell, and Susan Hogan. And lastly, Mayor, there's a gentleman here in the audience who submitted a written public comment here that we'll tender into the record regarding Village Association 4 and a sidewalk there and some lighting path issues that we will follow up with him on, and I've got it for the record.
Well, thank you very much, and we have been very busy. All of those mentioned emails or text messages have been received by all of us, each board member at the village. So thank you very much, Administrator Stonich, for reading those into the record. Now going to ask if any members of the public that are here this evening that would like to address the village board or have comments that are items not related to tonight's agenda. And if so, we would invite you to the podium. Yes, please, come on up. Hi there, how are you again?
Yeah,
That's okay. Good evening. Would you
yes.
introduce yourself?
Good evening. Thank you for having me again. My name's Lawrence Miller. I've been a resident for 44 years. I'm a retired engineer. I dealt with a lot of safety matters and training in my career. And if there's one thing I did learn about safety is if you can envision a problem, it's not a matter of it's not just if, it's a matter of when. So anyhow, but basically what You know, and I've done a lot of research on the state laws that have been passed on e-bikes and e-scooters. And I was shocked when I read this thing about the scooters, because this is going out rampant everywhere and they're selling these things. Basically, an e-scooter, which is that platform with a handle, you're not allowed in the state of Illinois to ride that unless you're 18 years or older. And the majority of the people that I see running through the parks are preteen adolescents without any adult supervision whatsoever. But again, the other law passed with the e-bikes is, and I know there was a debate last time about whether at one street that would be, you'd put them on the sidewalk and another, it's totally banned in the state of Illinois for e-bikes on sidewalks. Now, here's the other catch-all though. E-bikes are treated now as bicycles, and they have the same rights as bicycles to be on all trails. Now, that's where the problem is for me. And maybe you have to reclassify the trails through the forest preserve over here and the two lakes, because one, you know, to me, you know, the park has a high density of people. It's not just like the prairie path where you could be going for miles and never run into a human being. The thing is that you have a high density of people. You may have a parent with a little child and suddenly just darts out and gets away from them. And here goes by this scooter or by this e-bike, you know, and think about the mass. We're not, you know, somebody hits you with a bicycle, that's one thing, but you've got a lot more mass and momentum here. And plus they're lower center of gravity. So it's going to have more of a target of, you know, force. But what basically the parks were meant for, like a sanctuary for people to go and enjoy the tranquility, the animal life, the bird watching, and not to have these things. I mean, I've been at the park sometimes and these scooters go by and they just like make so much noise when they go over those wooden bridges and stuff like that. And it's usually young people doing this. So that's really what I'm after is the parks. I mean, I know whether it's along Woodridge Drive and you have that long path there then you'll probably have to, I'm running out of time.
No, you have 30 seconds still.
Oh, but I mean, it's just that, you know, unfortunately, the village, you know, it didn't have a crystal ball, and they put these islands in the middle of the road, which like on Woodridge Drive, James Avenue, you don't have a place where you could have a dedicated bike path, you know, which would be safe then for the e-bikes, because they're competing with cars and they can only, class 1, class 2 can only go to 20 miles an hour, and a class 3 goes to
Now you ran out.
28. So anyhow, I'll be back. I ain't done. Thanks, thank
Yes,
God.
okay, we'll see you at the 17th. Anyone else? Come on up, Sharon.
I feel
And again,
this in.
please.
Do we need this?
Yeah, we'll get that from you when you're done. Just tell us your name and your address, and you'll have 3 minutes, and I'll let you know when you're almost out of time.
Thank you. My name is Sharon Pfister. I live at 6520 Double Eagle Drive in Woodridge. And I didn't know that the e-bike and e-scooter matter was postponed, so I'm here anyway to give a couple of comments. I wanted you to know that I really don't have any skin in the game as far as all of these vehicles go, because I don't own an e-bike. I have a regular bike. I rode with my group today. I'm a member of Wheaton Pedal Pushers, 120 members. I have my shirt on today, so you can see. I was on a webinar with Ride Illinois about a week ago, and Chief Stefanson was on that same webinar. We both were told about it by Ride Illinois. This is an advocacy group that wants nothing but safety for all of the villages. And I wanted to read one thing that they said here. This is part of their mandate. It's critical that when developing a common sense ordinance, municipal staff discuss proposals with adjacent municipalities. This collaboration will result in consistency when individuals travel between communities. So their position, as well as my own, would be, let's not put a Band-Aid on this. It's extremely important, like this gentleman said about the safety. That's what I'm about here also. This group is also putting forward
recommendations to the state of Illinois for some of these various problems. Now, one thing is called an e-moto. This is the thing that I think most of the teenagers are having their parents buy for them, and it's not even in class. It's not in class in the state of Illinois. It's one of these that go more than 20 or 28, which is a class 1, 2, or 3 e-bike. So people are using this term called e-bike, which they're really meaning this e-moto vehicle that's not even covered within the state. And that's what one of the dangers is that I think we're seeing with the young people. Also, the code does say these scooters and
You have 30 seconds, ma'am.
the regular e-bikes can be problematic, but that is covered by age, what is it, 18? You have to be 18 because these kids are not 18. So I think that Woodridge doesn't have to be the bad guy necessarily, because all we have to say is you are not of age. This is according to Illinois code. Okay, so to start there rather than doing little piecemeal things. Plus, I did
Ma'am,
give-
your time's up, ma'am.
I did give a lot of comments myself. I did not hear my name said that when you read all the names, and I have given comments twice. Some were just in the beginning on my own.
Ma'am,
Some
your time's up.
were mine
We'll make sure that those
with the
comments.
group. So
Yes.
yeah, what happened to my comments? Where did they go?
So let me just state that those are comments we've received in the last, what is the time frame? Yeah, since our last meeting. So if you had one prior.
Okay.
Were read earlier.
They were read earlier. Okay, thank you for the clarification. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Happy to take that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
Anyone else? We'll now move to that are comments that are related to tonight's agenda. Going to pause to acknowledge any written public comments that have been received prior to our meeting that do appear on tonight's agenda. And if so, we would enter those into the public record. Administrator Stonich?
Thank you, Mayor. First one is Craig Zira, Keith Monaco, Sean and Chris Murphy, James Cassandras, and Sarah Dillon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now going to ask if there is anyone in our audience that would like to address the village board on items that are related to tonight's agenda. If so, I would invite you up to the podium. Thank you very much for coming, sir. So again, please note that if you are here this evening for the proposed e-bike, e-scooter ordinance, we will be continuing that agenda item to our September 18th meeting. Therefore, the board and I will not be reviewing or discussing this matter. However, if you still want to make any type of comment, you are more than welcome. And you can also do that in between until the September 18th meeting. So we would invite you to do that. So if there's no one, we'll go ahead and move on to our omnibus agenda for tonight. Going to ask, please, for a motion to approve the items A through C and acceptance of D through F. Motion, trustee Martinez, a second.
Second.
Trustee Nekovar, thank you very much. Is there a request for any item to be considered separately? Going to ask our administrator if you would please read those items into the record.
Thank you, Mayor. First item A is Resolution 2025-82. These are executive session minutes eligible and approved for release from February 2025 through July 2025. Item B, Resolution 2025-79 is an improvement agreement with respect to 10321 Bowden. This is the Seafried PSO Chicago Woodridge development. Item C, Resolution 2025-80 is the traffic regulation agreement, also in reference to 10321 Bowden and Woodridge Seafried PSO Chicago development. Next is item D. These are prior accounts payable registers for July 11th and July 18th. This is also and July 2nd. These are the June wires, and then also August 1st, 8th, 15th, and 22nd, and credit cards for May, and other related accounts payable registers on the list. And then item E are the board minutes of the study session for August 7th, and then item F is also prior board meeting minutes for August 21st. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Going to ask our clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Kagan,
Aye.
trustee Durkin, trustee Annalise,
Aye.
trustee Nekovar. Aye. Trustee Page,
Aye.
trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Under the mayor's report this evening, I do have one item. Our entire community, along with the community of Lisle, are invited to the September 11th Remembrance Ceremony, which will be held here outside in Kagan Plaza on Thursday, September 11th. If you could arrive anytime between 8 and 8:15, we would then be ready for the ceremony to start shortly thereafter. It is a wonderful remembrance, and we've done this since the first year after September 11th, 2001. It is a wonderful ceremonial, solemn remembrance, and I'm happy that we continue to do this. And when I say happy, it's because it gives us an opportunity to gather and remember and try to do good in remembrance. So I extend that invitation to everyone, and we hope to see you here. That is my report. Administrator Stonich, your report, please.
Thank you, Mayor. First item A, ordinance 2025-29. It's the electric bicycle and scooter ordinance.
So we would go ahead and ask for continuance. Yeah, we'll go ahead and, so we're, actually, staff is recommending to continue this item to our September 18th meeting to allow the board ample time to continue its review and its diligent review. This is a large subject, and of course, there are rules and statutory rules that the state already has in place, but we are looking at them as a village as well. We've needed this time really to continue to review all the data that is out there. So I'm going to ask for a motion to continue the proposed ordinance number 2025-29 to our September 18th meeting. Going to ask for a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, trustee Page. A second. Thank you, trustee Antilles. Any further discussion on this item? If our clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee Durkin, trustee Annalise,
Aye.
trustee Nekovar. Aye. Trustee Page,
Aye.
trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee Kagan.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item B, ordinance 2025-31. This is an amendment to the e-bike and e-scooter village fine structure.
So this item relates to the e-bike and e-scooter agenda item. Therefore, staff is recommending that we continue this proposed fine ordinance to our September 18th. Going to ask for a motion, please, to continue the proposed motion 2025-31 is an ordinance to our September 18th meeting. Going to ask for a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, trustee Page. And a second.
Second.
Thank you, trustee Annalise. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, if our clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee Nekovar. Aye. Trustee Page,
Aye.
trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee Kagan,
Aye.
trustee Durkin, trustee Annalise.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next, item C is an ordinance 2025-36. It's a creation of an A2 liquor license. This is in relation to a recent request for a new category of license by Clara's Restaurant in Seven Bridges. And Mayor, based on the board's discussion at the previous study session, I believe the consensus was to continue this item to the September 18th meeting.
Yes, that is correct. So I'm going to ask for a motion, please, to continue this item to our September 18th meeting. If I could please have a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, trustee Page. A second.
Second.
Thank you, trustee Annalise. Any discussion on this? If our clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee Page,
Aye.
trustee Martinez, trustee Kagan,
Aye.
trustee Annalise.
Aye.
Trustee Nekovar. Aye. Trustee Durkin. Motion passes.
Next, item D, resolution 2025-85, a resolution authorizing the mayor and village clerk to approve the acceptance of a letter of agreement and authorizing the execution of certain grant of permanent and temporary easements at 6935 Williams This is in relation to a stormwater improvement project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask for a motion to approve Resolution 2025-85, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Page. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Annalise. Any discussion on this item? Our clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee Kagan.
Aye.
Trustee Durkin. Trustee Annalise. Trustee Nekovar.
Aye.
Trustee Page.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next, item E, Resolution 2025-81. It's a resolution authorizing the mayor and village clerk to execute an engineering agreement between the Village of Woodridge and V3 companies for design engineering for stormwater improvement on Glen Court, Martin Drive, and Williams Drive in the amount not to exceed $45,525.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask for a motion to approve Resolution 2025-81, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Page. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Annalise. Any discussion on this item? Our clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee Kagan.
Aye.
Trustee Annalise.
Aye.
Trustee Nekovar.
Aye.
Trustee Page.
Aye.
Trustee Martinez. Trustee Durkin. Motion passes.
Next, item F is Resolution 2025-84, a resolution authorizing the village administrator to execute a renewal agreement with GAD Group for information technology system, professional services, and Tyler Munis resource support, and after-hours support as well. Our IT manager, Scott Klein, is here to answer any board questions. I welcome Greg Dover, the principal of GAD Group, who's in the audience this evening as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, and thank you for being here tonight. Good evening. Going to ask for a motion to approve Resolution 2025-84, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Page. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Kagan. Any discussion on this item? If our clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee Durkin. Trustee Kagan.
Aye.
Trustee Annalise.
Aye.
Trustee Nekovar.
Aye.
Trustee Page.
Aye.
Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item G, Resolution 2025-87 is a resolution authorizing the mayor and village clerk to execute a certain agreement for consultant services between the Village of Woodridge and Concentric Integration, Supervisory Control, and Data Acquisition telemetry system. This is related to our water and sewer distribution system, and this is a contract related to those services. Thank you.
Thank you. If I could please have a motion to approve Resolution 2025-87, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Page. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Annalise. Any discussion on this item? Our clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee Annalise.
Aye.
Trustee Nekovar.
Aye.
Trustee Page.
Aye.
Trustee Durkin. Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee Kagan.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item H, Resolution 2025-86, a resolution authorizing the village administrator to execute an agreement for contract snow plowing, shoveling, and de-icing services with Siebert Landscaping for the 2025-2026 winter season.
Thank you. If I could please have a motion to approve Resolution 2025-86, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Page. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Annalise. Any discussion on this item? Our clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee Nekovar.
Aye.
Trustee Page.
Aye.
Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee Kagan.
Aye.
Trustee Durkin. Trustee Annalise.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next, item I, Resolution 2025-83, a resolution appointing an authorized agent to the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund.
Thank you very much. If I could please have a motion to approve Resolution 2025-83, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Page. A second? Thank you, Trustee Durkin. Any discussion on this item? If our clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee Durkin. Trustee Page.
Aye.
Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee Kagan. Trustee Annalise.
Aye.
Trustee Nekovar.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Last item under my agenda, Mayor, is the fiscal year 2025 second quarter financial report, and Director Harrington is here to provide a brief but informative presentation.
Thank you very much, Director Harrington.
Wonderful. Good evening. This was in your packet, so we'll do a pretty brief overview of these second quarter results. And we will start with the general fund. Revenues are up about $4.4 million. The big chunk of that is home rule sales tax And as you recall, we did that 50 basis point increase. So we're seeing that full increase in 2025. We're also looking at regular sales tax has been very strong. And we did have one corporation in the village that had a mistake in their sales tax reporting. So we ended up with 1 year's of sales tax in 25. So that's a big part of the increase. The second part of that is property taxes, which is about $1.9 million higher. And that's truly a timing issue. So we received the money in June. Last year, we received those funds in July. So that's why it looks as if revenues are significantly higher. We did have one significant real estate tax transfer stamp for about $168,000 in 25, a one-timer. And then we just had a lot of permit activity, and we continue to have a real strong permit actions in the village. On the expense side, we're also looking at expenses being higher. Same thing with the property taxes. The transfers into the police pension fund is, again, it's a timing issue. So that's about $1.9 million of the increase. And then we had some personnel payouts in 25 for a couple long-term employees, along with our annual increase in salaries. And then we had some timing issues on payments for services that, again, are typically paid mid-year, and then we end up paying them in June this year. In past years, they were just paid later in the year. Moving on to the water and sewer funds. Again, we're going to focus more on the actual revenues are up about $600,000. Couple reasons for that. We changed out all our meters. So 25, we have a higher meter, which has a little higher maintenance fee. So we're seeing the benefit of that to the tune of about $100,000 for the 6 months. We also increased our capital improvement fee 50 cents. And we're showing that increase this year. And we've had a lot of new construction. So we've collected a number of connection fees, both water and sewer, in the range of about a couple $100,000. And that was kind of the basis for the revenue side. Expenses is mainly due to capital projects. And again, it's timing. It's when the work is done. So that's where you see those big fluctuations in the expenses. Capital projects, again, focus more on looking at last year. Revenue side, we're right in line with what we collected last year in revenue. Expenses, you can see we're, within 118,000. And again, it just depends on the timing of the capital work. So depending on what was happening last year compared to this year. So you'll see the budget is significantly higher. A lot of that work is done summertime. So we'll see those expenses grow in the third quarter. Here is just a summary of the other funds for the village. A lot of these are like MFT. We have, you can see the actual expenses are quite low. The MFT program is happening right now. Again, those are typically paid out in the third quarter or paid out in the fourth quarter. Bottom of the police pension, again, you'll see where the revenues actual are significantly higher. And again, that's that 1.9 million transfer for property taxes that were collected early this year. Everything else in here is pretty much typical of what we would see at this point in 6 months. Cash and investments, we are holding about $57.6 million. You will see that we have things broken out between CDs, investments, municipal bonds, money market. We try to be as diverse as possible, and we do have our funds in multiple organizations. The interest rates right now, a weighted average is about 4.44%. Interest has been very good the last couple of years, so we are really getting the benefit of that. For the CDs, we do layer them out for 3 years per our investment policy, so we try to get as much interest as we can for as long as we can. And that's a really quick look. Any questions?
Thank you very much again, Director Harrington. Any questions from the board? Any questions?
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much. So with nothing further, no active agenda items or unfinished or new business, going to ask that we do need to convene an executive session immediately following our adjournment. The purpose of the executive session is to review and discuss the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body and/or the setting of price for sale or lease of property owned by the public body. Going to ask please for a motion to adjourn the regular meeting of the village board and to convene into executive session following our adjournment. A motion, please.
So moved.
Thank you, trustee Annalise. A second. Thank you, trustee Durkin. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The time is 7:50.